Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. My name's Alexis, and today I'm going to be doing a May flip through. I'm also going to be showing you my coronavirus spreads that I've been doing along the quarantine situation. I'll be showing you how I've been keeping track of that later in the video, so be sure to stay around for that. The bullet journal normally ends around May, so my May flip through is kind of short, which is why I'm going to be doing a joint video of the two. So let's get into the video. So for the month of May, I decided to do a watermelon theme. You can see that my April page is kind of dull. It's just because there hasn't been anything going on too much for me to actually track. So here's my cover page. As you can see, I normally do a big calendar like this because it's easier when I go to do the weekly part and I can see the dates that I need to put in. It's a lot easier to find a date like in the middle of the month too, so I've always included this in my bullet journal every month. It's really helpful for me. So next I have my big calendar. This is where I normally just write the important dates for the month. As you can see, I'll do this throughout the month. I kind of write it down as it comes. It's really helpful for me. And this is my finals week, so this is going to be the last day of my bullet journal, which is where this calendar is going to end. And then next I have this page. I normally write the important dates here, and then it will be moved over. So I'll start it here and then move it from this page over to the big calendar. And it's really easy, so it always helps me to be able to see what's going on and like an overview of the month basically. Alright, so here I have my final exam schedule. Ignore that because my professor decided to cancel or change the date of the final. So here I just have the dates of the finals week, and then I have the exam I'll take and the time that I'll take it, and then I have the amount of time that it will take for me to take the exam and the information that my professor gave. For example, for this class, I know I have to study chapters 9, 10, and 11, and that's why I have it written right there. So, and then for example, for my biology class, I have the same information. It's a cumulative exam. It's 15% previous information, so I could do the math if I wanted to because I know it's 40 questions. And then I also wrote that there's extra credit, so I know that I can get it done by Friday. So that's what that is. So next I have my first week of May, and then at the top I have my little calendar, which I did from the first calendar, and I always highlight the week that I'm in, so that's what that is. I'll always start my bullet journals on the first, no matter what day it is, so that's why this one starts on Friday, and I always do that no matter what, but I'm probably going to end up changing that, so anyway, that's to be determined at the moment. So for my homework assignments, I always dictate them with a square. I use the typical bullet journal, I guess you could call it symbols. I use those in my bullet journal always. There's a bunch of videos that you can watch to show you the standard one. I have made some changes to it, but for the most part I use the typical one that everyone uses. And I don't include a key, but I'm probably going to do that in my next bullet journal, so you'll see that coming soon. So those are just homework assignments that I have. And then here I have my little doodles, which I'm not the best doodler, but I always try to include some little thing. And then here I have the date for the week, and then I have this little box to dictate my work for the week. I'll normally put in the day that I will go in, but I always have a lot of assignments sometimes, and I decided to separate the two so that way I could see what I have for each week, and it was easier for me to be like, okay, this is where my homework is, and then I'll put the day that I go in and the time, so that way it can be easily separated from the rest of my stuff, so it just makes it easier for me. Okay, so next I have my final exam week. It's the same setup pretty much in terms of everything that's on the page, but I have those two exams. Like I said, I have 5 classes, but I don't have the dates for those exams yet, so that's why I only have the 2 on there. But yes, it's same. So the date at the bottom, and also I included the date at the bottom, and then included my work schedule again, but it's empty because of the quarantine, so I have nothing there. And then the same calendar with the week highlighted that I explained in the last spread, and then my doodle. So it's the same as the other pages, but I always do the same thing. And then I always include a couple pages at the end for my thoughts and things from this bullet journal, so when I make the next one. But yes, as you can see, I tried to do some water with the bag trick, and it didn't turn out too great because I don't think I used enough water, and I knew that the pages in the bullet journal, in this type of bullet journal, were thin, so I did it again with more water, and it turned out better. And this is what it's actually supposed to look like, but as you'll see in a second, it bled through. But yes, this is another page. It's just some more spread ideas and stuff like that. But yes, like I said, it bled through really bad with the water. And the Illustriums are really tricky in terms of this because they're not the best with watercolor or water at all. So it was really hard to do that. But anyway, it's not good. But I can show you how to do it because I've done it in other bullet journals and it worked perfectly fine with this amount of water. So I could show you at another video how to do that. But yes, because if you don't use enough water, it looks like this. So yeah. So like I said, yeah, it's really tricky to get the right amount of water because if you use too much, it bleeds through. If you don't use enough, it'll look like the previous page, and that's kind of what I was trying to mess with in this bullet journal. But like I said, I've used it in multiple bullet journals before and it worked fine. But anyway, this is the end of my bullet journal. Like I said, I always end my bullet journal once my school year is over, and that's pretty much the end of the April, or I'm sorry, excuse me, the May flip through. There will be a flip through coming. I'll do a flip through probably once my school ends, which will be May, and I'll do a flip through. It'll be August to May, so I'll show you all my spreads from that time. But anyway, next I'm going to be showing you how I did my coronavirus spreads. So I have a couple ideas that I'm going to be sharing with you, but it'll be mostly one spread that I'll be focusing on, and I'll explain that in just a second. But I also have some other spreads that I always include in my bullet journal, and I wanted to include those in this video because I use them every month, but they've really been helping me in this time, so that's what I'm going to get into. So for the first spread I'm going to show you, it's like a tracker basically. It's nothing too exciting, but it's more for like the numbers, so that's kind of why I had to do it this way. But this is the spread I've been using. So I go to my health department's page, and then I will look at the stats for that day. So they've been giving like the cases and the deaths since the beginning, so that's what I've been tracking in this spread. It's not, like I said, it's nothing too crazy or fancy or anything like that, but anyway, that's what this is. So you could see that I stopped on the 30th, but that day I went, for example, and looked, and this is the date, and then the number of cases they had, and then the deaths for that day. So I'll be filling in the rest of this come in a couple seconds, but you'll see me finish it out, and I'll show you kind of in the video how I've been getting that information. But I started on the first day that we had our first death, and I went all the way down, and I may run out of space. It's kind of a question right now. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do that, but this is the state I live in, and then I've also been doing a tracker for the state that I go to school in, so as you can see I have two of them. It's kind of a good thing to compare for me anyways. You could do like the state that you live in, and you could compare like the United States. That would be a good idea, or you could compare two states. It's really open, so it kind of allows me to see the almost side by side what the two are going to be doing. So throughout the time I can see like, okay, this is how much this state's grown, and this is how much this state's grown. You could do the United States, like I said, and your state, and just to see how much the total has been, or you could do like two countries, or there's a lot of opportunities here. So whatever kind of floats your boat, there's a lot of open opportunity there. So now you're going to just see me for the next couple minutes doing the first spread. So like I said, I've been going to the health department page and then just writing down the amounts and the cases for that day. So that's what this part is going to be. You'll see me do that for the next couple minutes. So I'll just stop talking for a second and let this part play out because this part was kind of long. Like I said, I stopped on the 30th and had to basically catch up all the way to the 19th. So you'll see me doing that now. So next I'm going to show you a tracker that I've been using. I know these are all blank, but I'll explain that in a second. So this is a move tracker that I have. It's basically the stats from my Apple Watch. So if you have an Apple Watch, this tracker is really good. It's really easy to keep track of too because you'll have the app. So this is the move, exercise, and stand. Those are all in the app, like I said, with the Apple Watch. And then I also have my steps in there, which is also included in that app, so you can get that. And then the rest heartbeat and peak heartbeat are also in a different app that I downloaded to my phone. So I write these stats down every single day, and then it just helps me to see. And this is really good during this time, especially because you want to be moving around and you can see, okay, well, on this day I was kind of, lazy, so I've been trying to keep track of this. This is my April spread through, so it's kind of empty just due to the fact that there's really been hard for me to, in terms of trying to track stuff, but the tracker is there. So as you can see, it's kind of blank, but I know a lot of people have been struggling with trying to get some motivation, but these are good spreads if you want to try to keep track of something. So next I have my gratitude spread. This is really good to write down things, like every day go write down something that you're thankful for, or you can write down something that you want to remember. So like for me, I'll normally write something like, okay, I did good on my test today, so I'll write that down in here. Or I went to have dinner with my friends, I'll write that down in here. I know this is really hard during this time because I can't do anything, but if you're in school, this is a good thing to keep track of, like how your school's been going or what's been happening in terms of like your daily life. So you can just keep track of all that in this page, and it's been really helpful too because when you go to do the final page, or if you have like a memories page, you can pull it from this. So not everything in here has to be like a memory, you know what I mean? So it doesn't have to be something crazy that happened or something that's big, a big deal. You know what I mean? It could just be something that you're thankful for that day or something that you're glad happened. So that's what I write in here, and then I'll transfer it to the last page that I have in my monthly spreads. It's always something that's like good for me to do in terms of writing the last page because I'll forget stuff that happens and I don't always write it in the memories page, but I try to keep track of this page, so it's good to kind of help with the end result of the bullet journal. So yes, so this was the coronavirus spread, like I said, and that's basically, I know this is kind of out of order, but this was the coronavirus spread again. So this is in my April spreads, but I'm kind of keeping it through the entire like expand. So if you guys have any questions about any of the spreads that I did, or if you have any requests for any videos or anything, please just let me know in the comments down below, and be sure to like and subscribe this video. I also have more if you'd like to watch it on my channel. So thanks for watching.